Well, hello everybody and welcome to Lunch Break Live. Real talk about obesity, food obsession, recovery, and what's really eating you. I am Cari de la Cruz coming at you live from a very different location today. And after I tell you a few stories today, you'll understand why. I'm actually coming to you from my guest bedroom / daughter's bedroom, depending upon what month it is. Currently, it is, my daughter moved out, so I guess it's my guest bedroom. But anyway, it has this super cute owl. Look, isn't that cute? She kept it even when she was here. So anyway, that's why my background looks a little bit different. Also, I am handheld. I do not have my stand, my usual typical phone easel, so it's a little jumpy. All right, so there you go. It's just because I'm so full of P&V today. So anyway, on today's show, I've entitled it a recovery grab bag, where I'm going to share 3 recovery lessons that this here recovery rebel experienced in the last 2 days. And maybe from these experiences that I'm going to share with you and how it is that I responded, you might be able to see some opportunities in your own life for recovery, okay? But before I go there, you should know who I am, especially if you're a newer viewer, and I want to welcome you in. I'm a 2007 gastric bypass post-op, living life in recovery from obesity and obsessive compulsive overeating as twice the woman and half the body. All right, I said it before, for you mathematicians out there that want to know half of what, I started at 320 pounds. You can do the rest. All right, so that's me. Also a recovery strategist, and what that means quite simply is I help people find and own their crap so they can find and own their own recovery. How's that? How many other rebels do I have here? As usual, I've got to check in with you guys and see who is here. And for that, got to put the glasses on. Oh, shine a little light on this subject. There's my mama and Georgette. I got to hug on you last night, you and Heather. That was so awesome to see you girls. And meet Dryden. How adorable is he? I was going to say I want one, but no, I know what causes them. Nope, I think we'll wait for a grandchild. Hey, Nancy, my sweet friend. Welcome, welcome. So glad you're here. And David, regular fixture, seeing you a lot more often. I have to be careful how I phrase that because that could be misinterpreted if I say I'm seeing less of you more and more. Oh, goodness. Yeah, I don't want to be misunderstood. So let's just say I'm really happy to see you. And speaking of people that I'm happy to see less of more and more, Claudia. Hi, how are you? I'm so glad you joined me. And Anna, rebel. Georgette says rebel here. Absolutely you are. Do I have any other rebels? Especially any of you who might own and wear your very own recovery rebel tee, like me. Look, I'm wearing mine today. You know what? When I tell you what happened, I think you're going to realize that quite possibly this shirt has superpowers, right? The fact that I was wearing this shirt when 2 out of the 3 situations transpired might tell you that you need to have a Recovery Rebel t-shirt too, so that you can respond in a rebelliously recovery kind of way. So before I go there exactly, I have a few notes, all right? First and foremost, this makes a lot of sense to me anyway. I think it will to you. Recovery is not about how much you weigh. It's about what weighs you down. All right. A lot of times, it would be really easy for me to say, oh, yeah, I'm working my recovery because I haven't touched anything on my food abstinence sobriety list, and I weigh a certain weight, and, I work out, whatever, right? I'm good. I'm golden. I am in recovery because I weigh a certain weight. That's not what recovery is all about. That's about managing a healthy weight and treating my disease of obesity. But guess what? Not all people in recovery have the disease of obesity that they need to treat. Okay, and not all people who are in recovery are wrestling with a food obsession or a food addiction, right? They're not all compulsive overeaters. They're wrestling with other obsessions, other addictions that rule their lives. I think I put something on my wall one day. Addiction is when you can't give up one thing to gain everything, but you will give up everything for one thing. Okay, that's addiction. Okay, so my point is the fact that I am in recovery for the diseases of obesity and food obsession merely state that, okay, that is what motivated me to get to this place of learning to live life on life's terms. Okay, that's what it is, right? Learning to respond as a person in recovery rather than the way I always did before. And I'm going to share a little bit about that with you. Let's see here. 3 instances. Boy, they came at me hard and fast too. And now they happened within the last 2 days, but technically since about 6 o'clock last night. And they may not seem significant. Okay, they're little lessons, but I do want to share it with you because I want you to understand how it is that I chose to respond. And again, to see if this might give you some ideas about how you will choose to respond to situations in your own life. All right, let's see here. First of all right, how quickly I forget. Last night, I had the pleasure of joining the bariatric support group down at Fountain Valley Regional. Dr. Lori Burdesky invited me. Thank you so much. Love me some Dr. Lori. And I got to speak with about 30 of you, including Georgette and Heather, as I mentioned, and a few other people. Susan was there and Bonnie was there. It was really great. And I talked about trust. But before my talk, I love to get places early so I can set up, get settled, breathe, calm down, and get my PowerPoint presentation set up. Well, when I got there, the whole room had been rewired so that there were now no more wires. And that meant I could not plug my computer into the overhead. And the door was locked that would enable me to access the apparent area where the connection to the overhead projector was. So here's what you need to know about me. My very familiar go-to when it comes to tech issues, things that don't go right technically, is to have a meltdown. I mean, I pitch a fit and I just get anxiety-ridden and overwhelmed because I get upset, okay, ostensibly because I'm like, okay, this should work. This technology should work. I did my part, all right? I spent a lot of time on this PowerPoint. I did everything I was supposed to do. And now because of this stupid technology, I'm not going to be able to do my thing the way I want to do it because it's letting me down for no apparent reason. And okay, on and on and on, right? And if anyone who has spent any time with me will know, very familiar state of mind. And it was one of those things very much like someone who describes themselves as a control freak, ha ha ha, or someone who is, a perfectionist, ha ha ha, or who just likes to have everything right. People love that. They're like, oh yeah, well, that's a good thing, right? I'm a technology freak. And I'm like, it should be right. I really stress and worry about these things. And so I got a lot of reassurances whenever it was that I would have this meltdown. Okay. And people were like, oh, it's understandable. I totally get that. Yeah. You want it to be right. So it was never something that I felt I needed to fix because I felt it was justified. Not only did I believe it was justified within myself, other people wanted me to believe that it was justifiable, okay? But it took a toll on me. When I was having a meltdown, it would certainly affect my ability to present. It would certainly affect my state of mind, my attitude, my mood, my whole demeanor. I would be agitated and I would be a fart on a skillet, and not in a good way, okay? So it would affect what I was doing. So that was number 1 that happened last night. I'm not going to tell you the resolution yet. I'll tell you in a minute, all right? Number 2, I'm on my way to work this morning. La, la, la. Not in my car, by the way, because my car's in the shop. And that means I'm not in the carpool lane. And so I'm trying to remain calm while I am in with the hoi polloi in the normal, slow, pokey, bumper-to-bumper traffic, okay? But I'm like, it's okay. I'm singing a happy tune. I'm going, I'll get there when I get there. All is well, all is well. Phone rings. It's my daughter. She's like, Mom, first of all, I'm okay. I was in an accident. Okay, that's a phone call no parent really likes to get. I mean, there are other calls that parents don't like to get, but that's one of them. Rate's right up there. Now, I could have freaked out and gone, oh my God, are you okay? Are you okay? Even though she just told me she's okay. And I could have freaked out. How bad is it? What happened? Da, 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 da. Okay, so I will tell you what I did and how I responded in a minute. So that got thrown at me this morning, right? And number 3, I show up at my office. I was on the phone with my mom, as a matter of fact, filling her in on the whole accident situation. I roll up on my office. Here's something you don't want to see every day. Yellow caution tape around your office entrance, people standing there with clipboards and walkie-talkies and things that say security and, oh yeah, police cars. You do not want to see that when you roll up to your office. You also do not want to see your massive glass doors with security glass broken out and shattered everywhere. Yep, that's what I saw when I got to work, okay? I saw that someone had broken into my office. Alrighty, I'm thinking, okay, all right, remain calm, get out, find out what happened. So those are the situations that I was faced with. Oh, there was another one I wanted to throw in there that happened yesterday. Thanks to my patrons, all of you wonderful patrons who are supporting the work of recovery on patreon.com/realrecovery, I was able to achieve my first milestone, my first goal, and that is to purchase an iPad so that I will be able to do the program from an iPad, see your comments more clearly, have much better video quality, and be able to do so-called presentations, aforementioned, wirelessly with my iPad. So thanks to you guys for supporting me. I was able to achieve that. But wait, it went to the wrong address. It was sent to an address I haven't lived at in 5 years. All right. And when I went to change that, guess what I was told? Oh, no problem. You'll have to wait for us to get it back. You'll have to wait 5 days for a refund. Then you'll have to reorder it again. Only problem is now it's $50 more. Okay. So these are lots and lots of opportunities for me to lose my cool, to go crazy and want to eat, because that's how I would usually respond, because I was out of control. I was not able to control these situations. So that is, man, my arm hurts. Time to work out, I guess. All right, I'm changing hands. All right, so those are the situations, let me adjust this, that presented themselves to me, okay? These were opportunities for growth. These were opportunities for me to dig deep and use the recovery tools that I talk about every single day, the recovery tools that I possess and know how to use to great benefit. Whose benefit? My own, all right? Here's how this looks. Last night, when I showed up to do my PowerPoint presentation and couldn't figure out how to connect, here's what I did. I took the steps to try and get someone in, tech support. Very funny. I had to call a tech support center and open a case, and then they requested my phone number and my email address. I'm like, hi. Okay, the talk is in 30 minutes. So really, if there's no one on site and you're going to call someone on call and have them come over, you know, I don't think that's going to turn out really well. Okay, my email address is, okay, right, so I do that. So in other words, I did what I could. And then I went back to the room, and now people are there. Lots and lots of people are there smiling at me expectantly. And I said, is it ironic that I am doing a talk on trust tonight or what? Because at this particular moment in time, I need to trust the process. I need to trust myself enough to know that I know how to give a talk without a PowerPoint presentation and do my very best, because that's all I'm expected to do, right? I could say, no, but my very best is to do my PowerPoint presentation. That's why I did it, and I know how it should not to be. Okay, if that's not an option, okay, so I can react and go, ah, okay, or I can respond and go, trust the process, do your best, all right? It's going to be different. Guess what? It's not going to be how you wanted it to be, okay? And that's a biggie. That's a big subtext to a lot of situations for me. It's not going to be the way I want it to be. Therefore, it's going to be wrong. And I can't make it right. No, it's going to be different. Okay? It's not maybe going to be the way I want it to be. Does that mean it's going to be bad and awful and terrible? Maybe. Guess what? It could turn out better. Don't really know. Right? So I talked myself very calmly, without getting all rattled, into the understanding that I would just do my best. And then Dr. Lori showed up right at 6:30, and within 5 minutes, I was online. Do you have a flash stick? I sure do. Do you have a this? Do you have that? A wonderful guy, Jay, I think your name was Jay, was there to save the day, and he helped me get connected, and voila, there we were. All right? Now, the beauty of responding rather than reacting, which is to say, to do what I could do to resolve the situation, and then resolve to respond to whatever the outcome was in a measured, rational way, reasonable way, is that I didn't have to recover from that unbelievable high. You know, that takes a lot of anxiety to, you know, when you're having like, when you get really, really mad, it takes you a while to calm down, doesn't it? Like your heart's racing and you're like agitated, you're irritated, you're like, okay. I didn't have to recover from that because I didn't go to that place. That left a lot more energy for me to do my very best and give a talk about trust. So number one, I did not have a tech meltdown, choosing instead to stay in the moment and to approach it with clarity and faith and trust that everything would turn out somehow, I would survive, and no one would die. That was really it. Those are big words for me. I know it sounds really goofy, but those are big words for me. So that's number one. It went really well, and I believe that people who were there found hope and healing in the message, okay? So that's a really great thing. It's like, okay, God used me in a really cool way, and I didn't get in my own way and step all over that by freaking out about the PowerPoint, which came back anyway, okay? So that's number one. Number two, about the whole eBay thing today, after going back and forth with them a few times, they were very kind, and they said, oh, we understand. Sure, no problem. We'll go ahead and resend it to you, but we're going to need you to pay new shipping costs. Well, of course you are. That's not a problem. So I will get the iPad when I get it. Not necessarily when I wanted it, right? But when it comes, it comes. And it will be delivered to my office where someone will be there to sign for it, okay? So that worked out okay. I don't have to pay $50 more. Yes, I have to pay more for shipping because I made an error, all right? I made an error. Got to own that. Oh, well, nobody died, and I'm going to get the iPad. Great. Okay. So again, I didn't have to recover from a state of panic. What am I going to do? I'm never going to get an iPad. I'm never, right? Okay. So that's number two. Number three, and these are in no particular order of importance, by the way. Okay. Daughter's accident. All right. How wonderful it is that I was able to faithfully stay in a position of peace, a place of peace, so that I could then extend that peace to my own daughter, so that she could calm down, so that she could reclaim some semblance of the ability to breathe, okay, and see things through. You know, I was able to walk her through logically what was going to happen, you know, what would be her responsibility, what would be the things she needed to handle, and oh yeah, first and foremost, let's make sure we breathe, okay? Walked her through that a little bit. So that was really good. I was there. I was available to her 100% because I had not worn myself out trying to recover from overreactions, okay? So that's very, very important. I was there for her. And I think that is a wonderful gift of recovery. That is how our own recovery benefits others, because we are there for them. We are able to be there for them. Okay? So there's that. So then the office. Okay, I roll up and I say to myself, wow, I don't know what happened, but I hope everybody's okay. I hope no one was hurt. That's number one. I walk up to the guys. I'm like, so what happened here? Some computers were stolen along with some terabyte, you know, disks, really big disk drives stolen. Ah, okay, that's not good. Clearly not good. Gee, I hope mine wasn't one of them. Okay, so I can't get in through the front door because I'm wearing flip-flops and they're all freaked out, even though it's safety glass and whatever. So I go, you know, upstairs to come downstairs to come in the back with the security guard, whatever. I come in the office and wow, only 3 computers out of like 12 were stolen, and mine was one of them because mine was big. I had a 27-inch monitor on that bad boy, right? So yeah, mine was stolen, and so was the president's. And he lost a lot of photos, terabytes worth of beautiful photos, right? I don't know if they're saved. I don't know if they're backed up. Well, guess what? All of my lunch break live stuff was on that computer. And I said to myself, okay, here is the moment. I could freak out. I could freak out and say, now I've lost everything. What am I going to do? It's over. Everything I wanted to do is done. Why did they have to steal my computer? Why did it have to be me? Why am I a target? What? Nope. You know what I said? Okay. It could be bad. I will not die. It's not my favorite outcome. If it turns out that I have lost everything, it is not my favorite outcome. I would prefer that I still have access to that, but guess what? I'm going to have faith that this will all turn out some way. If the data is lost, it's lost. That's it. All right? But perhaps they did not take my backup drive. Guess what? They did not take my backup drive. And guess what was on the backup drive? I was able to check it on another computer. You guessed it. It backed up last night. Absolutely everything. So all of my data is saved. It might not have been, but in this case, it was. Okay? I think that's pretty awesome. But in either eventuality, I was prepared to live with the outcome, to live with whatever it was that life handed me. Because that's out of my control. That's beyond my control. A smash and grab robbery? You know what? Like they say in Monty Python, nobody expects the Inquisition. You know, nobody expects a smash and grab. Nobody. But it happens, all right? No one was injured. And my data happens to be safe. And hey, guess what? I got a new computer. Okay, right on. I'm able to work from home. You know, if this had happened 5 years ago, it would have shut down the company. But no, we are able, because of cloud data and online, you know, programming and blah, 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 we're able to continue operations, to continue connecting with our clients and our vendors, okay? So that's a really good thing. So the message here in these situations, oh, yeah, I already told you about my daughter, right. Oh, so here is kind of like the rundown result. I wrote it out. Daughter safe, demonstration safe, delivery safe, data safe. Okay? So, you know, all is well. Is it ideal? No. But you can choose to respond or you can choose to react. Okay? And this is what I would call recovery rebellion on my part. All right? My bangs are on my way. Sorry. Again, me and my bang, a little anxious about the bangs. Got to get over that. Anyway, here's the dealio. Recovery rebellion. This is what I call a recovery rebellion. I rebelled against my default settings, my go-to behaviors, my usual typical, you know, well-worn road pathway of overreacting. I rebelled against that within myself and said, I am not going to do that thing that I always do. I am not going to react. I'm going to choose a response, and I am going to remain realistic. Okay? I'm going to remain rational. I am not going to make rash decisions. You see, that is a rebellion to me, because I did not give in to all of the things I used to do. All of the things that other people told me were perfectly justifiable, perfectly rational, perfectly reasonable. Because the reality is they weren't. And guess who paid the price tag? Do you think, okay, granted, the people to whom I gave presentations when I was anxiety ridden, you know, they didn't get the full benefit of a really, you know, well-presented talk, right? So, you know, they were cheated a little bit. But the reality was I was the biggest victim in the whole thing. Because when we have to recover from extremes, we always overshoot, don't we? We're like, whew, such a relief. Man, I'm really bummed out now. Okay, now I've overshot and I'm now down in the dumps. And I got to pull myself back up out of the dumps. I might overshoot a little bit by overcompensating. And so it's like that pendulum going, boom, 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 boom. And it's bouncing along, right? It's like that is a lot of energy expended just to recover from something that I didn't even need to do in the first place. And that is really the heart, it's at the heart of the recovery rebel movement to me. It's to rebel against your natural tendencies, your default settings, your familiar go-tos, all right? So when you hear me use that phrase, that's how I use it. I'm, of course, eager to hear how it is that you guys are incorporating that whole concept of recovery rebellion into your own lives. So let me see if I had any more points on this. Let's see. I always feared the worst before, you know, and now I realize if the worst happens, will I survive? Yeah. Will I like it? Not necessarily. Will it be okay? Will it turn out the way it's supposed to? Yeah. Will it turn out the way I want it to? Maybe not. Okay, may turn out better. All right, so I think that's really important. I think those are pretty much, yeah, that's what I wanted to share with you guys in this seriously unscripted version of a Friday edition of Lunch Break Live. I would encourage you guys to look at, if you are one of those people that insists upon things going your way and gets hell-bent out of shape when it doesn't, you might want to take a look at that and say, you know, how is that feeding my disease? How is that feeding maybe my addiction, my obsession? How is that feeding my disease of obesity if I'm literally feeding it food? How is that feeding my emotional stability and making it unstable? Okay? That's what I want you guys to look at. When things don't go your way, what do you do? How do you respond? So that's about it. I'm just going to quickly take a glance at what you guys are saying, and thank you as ever for being here. All right, so let's see who's here. Scrolling up. Michelle, you got your shirt. Did you know that? Did you know Georgette bought you a shirt? I can't wait to see it on you. Sarah, I've seen you now a few times. How wonderful to see your shiny face. Let's see here. And Linda made it in. Connie Duvier. I just love to say your name, even if it's Duvier or I don't know, Duvier. I just love it. It is nice. It is nice to have you back, my friend. I'm so glad that you are here. Minnesota loves me. So bring me to Minnesota then. I've only ever been to the airport, which is lovely, by the way. Really love the Minneapolis airport. Totally wired. Wireless everywhere, Wi-Fi, very cool and tech friendly. You know what? Bring me out there. Come on, get a support group together and just, buy my ticket. I'm a cheap date. I don't eat much. All right. Let's see here. Deb, hi. I haven't seen you in a few days. And Sherry, okay, I haven't seen you in a little while. I'm so glad you're back. Linda says it's learning to accept yourself and situation in the moment. And you know what? Sometimes we can't really maybe accept the situation as it is, but you're right. We accept the reality of the situation and say, okay, I may not like what this is, but I'm going to accept that this is what is, okay? And we'll deal with the rest later. You're absolutely right. Linda, I haven't seen you in a while. So glad you're back and so glad. I hope that your son is doing better. Prayers have been going up for you and for him. So I'm really glad to see you here. Laura, I'm glad to see you back from the coast. Okay, you're from Oregon. You guys have a coast. I'm from Southern California. We have a beach, okay? We also do not drink pop or soda. Here we drink Coke or Pepsi. Not me, but okay, I do. Maybe sometimes. I don't know. It's not what this is about. All righty. Keep going. Cleo, you made it from Florida. So happy to see you. Yes, Mom, I did find a plug-in spot. Okay, that's the other part about my car, because they're not letting me plug in at work anymore for whatever reason. We're in a lame duck situation where they're selling the building and they're not going to do anything to take care of us, and they've decided that we can't plug in and yada, yada, yada. But guess what? If a mile away, there's a plug-in station, and so I have built-in exercise every morning, and it's free, and it charges much faster. See, that's a good thing. I could have freaked out and said, oh, no, I can't plug in, life is over. Or I could say, hey, maybe there's an alternative presenting itself. And you know what? If I get to walk in the rain, I get to buy rain boots. What's so bad about that? Can't wait. And they do have a shuttle bus if I need it. All right. Thanks, Mom. Thanks for reminding me. You're right. And that was a super fun little journey we went on together. You in the car on the cell phone and me trying to find it and running into security guards. That was super fun. All righty. Lisa, hi. Welcome, welcome. You are a newbie. Surgery date TBD. Woo! Keep us posted on that. So glad that you are here. Hope you find some nuggets that you can gnaw on and feed the things that are eating you up. Feed healthy foods to things that are eating you up. Tammy, first time tuning in. Oh, I'm so glad. You're loving me? You love me? Oh, well, that's pretty awesome. Okay, if you hang around a little longer, you know what? You're going to get to know the real me, and then it's going to be real love, which is, ooh, for better or for worse, okay? So glad you're here, eager to learn more about you. Yay. And all right, so guys, all right, so as I sign off for the day, all right, I want to tell you how super excited I am to be joining Celebrate Recovery next Friday. So that's a week from today. Yes, Friday at Seacoast Church. Seacoast. Oh man, Val, you got to help me out. Val Shope. She's the one that got this all set up for me, and it's on my wall right here in Cypress. Okay, so if you are in the area within the sound of my voice, Cypress, Long Beach, Los Alamitos, Garden Grove, Orange County, even South Bay, and you want to come down and join it, all are welcome. It's a faith-based 12-step program. So if you have been looking for a place that you can call home, that you can get the support that you need, if you're wrestling with addiction, if you're wrestling with food obsession, and you want to get some help, check it out. It's all are welcome, and it's going to be like a fun night. It's called Elevation, okay? And we're talking about victory. So I know I'm talking at 7. It starts before that. So if you're interested in going, I hope that you will come on out. And again, I must remind you, tell me who you are, run up and give me a hug, all right? You got to let me know because I'm a dingbat. My mom will tell you, all right? So that's it, and you know what? Have a beautiful weekend in recovery, you recovery rebels. And I'm eager to hear your own stories. So please share with me stories of your own healthy rebellion where you rebel against your unhealthy behaviors in healthy ways. All right, guys? If you don't have a shirt yet, shoot me an email, me@caridelacruz.com, and I'll tell you what you got to give me so you can order it. It's $20. And if you live close enough that I can deliver it to a support group, I'll do that. Otherwise, I will ship it priority to you. I think it's like $6.50. All right. I can't do anything about that price, but it is what it is. But I'll get it to you. All right. So do that. And if you would also like to support the program like my other patrons, feel free to check out caridelacruz.com/Patreon, Patreon, where I am creating real talk about real recovery. And you can help me reach the next goal. I don't know what that is yet. I got to take a look at it, which is maybe getting to visit some support groups that are a little further out to talk. So thank you guys so much for being here. Love you very, very much. I treasure you. I'm blessed by you. And thank you so much for being here. I will see you all on Monday. Take care. Remind you all to have courage. Seek peace. Embrace joy. And above all, rebelliously live your recovery. Remember, you can't stop feeding what's eating you if you don't stop. I did it again. You guys. What is my problem? You can't stop feeding what's eating you if you don't know what's eating you. Boom. Got it. Drop the mic. Gotta go. See ya.